Hey everyone, and welcome to Little Monsters Comic Pop. I'm Justin Jake,
And I'm Mary Dunst.
and we are so excited to kick off this deep dive into Invincible #1. It came out in 2003 from Image Comics,
Yeah,
and it's become quite the collector's item.
it really has. And it's fascinating to see um how the value of different editions has just gone up.
Yeah.
So like take the standard copy from 2003, depending on the condition, you might be able to get one for like 10 to $100.
Which is pretty good for a comic that's over 20 years old.
Oh yeah.
But then there's this other version, the Laurie's Comics Convention exclusive. That's where things get really interesting.
What's so special about the Layers Comics edition?
Well, for starters, only 1,000 copies were ever printed.
Wow.
So that alone makes it a hot commodity in the collector's market.
Yeah. Limited print runs will definitely drive up value.
Yeah, scarcity is key in the comic book world.
Right.
Imagine if everyone had a copy of Action Comics #1, the first appearance of Superman.
Oh my God.
It wouldn't be nearly as iconic or valuable.
That makes sense.
So this Larry's Comics variant, how much are we talking price-wise?
What is it going for these days?
Well, this limited edition can fetch anywhere from $30 to $100,
Really?
which is not bad for a comic that originally probably cost just a couple bucks.
I can see why collectors are going crazy for it.
Exactly. But here's the thing. The world of Invincible #1 doesn't stop there. We're just scratching the surface
There's more.
because there is a whole universe of other variants and reprints out there.
Wow.
And their values are all over the map. Some are worth a fortune, while others might only get you a cup of coffee.
So what makes the difference? Is it just about how rare they are?
Rarity is a big part of it.
Okay.
But there are other factors at play, too. We're talking foil editions, gold editions, special convention exclusives.
Oh, wow.
You've got your San Diego Comic-Con, SDCC variants, New York Comic-Con, NYCC exclusives. It's a whole collecting frenzy out there.
Wait, back up a second. SDCC and NYCC, what are those?
Right, sorry, I should have explained. Those are some of the biggest comic book conventions in the world. San Diego Comic-Con, or SDCC, and New York Comic-Con, NYCC for short. And this is where publishers will often release special limited edition comics.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can think of them like super rare trading cards.
Okay, that makes sense. So these convention exclusives, are they always super valuable?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Some are definitely worth more than others, but it really all depends on things like, the print run, the artist involved, and even just current market trends.
It's a lot to keep track of.
It's a wild world out there. But how do you even begin to navigate all these different editions and their values? It does sound kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, it really does.
Well, don't worry. That's what we're here for.
That's what we're here to do.
We're here to break it all down for you.
Yeah, and to think, we're just talking about Invincible #1.
I know, right? It's amazing how one single comic can have so many variations, each with its own story to tell. But that's what makes comic collecting so exciting. It's like a treasure hunt,
Yeah,
for sure.
it really is.
And speaking of treasures, one particular Invincible #1 variant stands out when you're talking about value. The 2021 Black Foil Edition.
Oh, yeah?
It was limited to only 200 copies. And get this, it originally sold for $74.99.
Wow.
But today, that same Black Foil Edition can go for anywhere between $20 and $210.
That's incredible.
Talk about a good investment.
Right?
So what makes this Black Foil Edition so special besides its limited print run?
Well, foil editions in general are pretty sought after by collectors just because of their unique look and feel.
Right.
But the black foil is extra special because it's just so darn cool.
Yeah, they look really sleek.
Yeah. And let's not forget the fact that it was released around the same time as the Invincible animated series, premiered on Amazon.
Oh, right.
So that height definitely played a role in boosting its value. Smart marketing move on their part.
It's a great example of how pop culture trends can influence the comic book market.
For sure.
So it seems like if you're looking to score a valuable Invincible #1, limited print runs, special editions, and convention exclusives are the way to go.
Sounds like it.
But, it's not just about chasing the dollar signs,
Right.
Part of the fun is discovering those hidden gems, those unique editions that speak to you personally.
That's true.
It's about finding that comic that you're excited to add to your collection, regardless of its monetary value.
Right. Because ultimately it's about the love of comics.
Exactly. Speaking of love for comics, did you know that there are even more Invincible #1 editions out there?
Really?
We haven't even touched on all of them yet.
Well, what else is there?
From Mexican editions to Undeluxe reprints, blank sketch variants to store exclusives.
It's like a never-ending rabbit hole of invincible goodness.
and we are going to explore all of it. But first, we need to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Invincible #1 deep dive action after these messages.
Sounds good. So we've talked about the Larry's Comics exclusive and that black foil edition.
Right.
But like we said before the break,
Yeah.
there's like a whole galaxy of other Invincible #1 variants out there.
It's like Invincible #1 decided to have its own little multiverse.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
But seriously, we've got Mexican editions, reprints from various years.
We even have something called an Undeluxe edition.
Undeluxe. Okay, you got to explain that one.
And kind of like a director's cut, but for comics.
Oh, okay.
So the 2023 Undeluxe edition of Invincible #1 includes some extra content and behind-the-scenes stuff that wasn't in the original release.
Oh, that's cool. So
Yeah.
it's like a way for fans to get a deeper dive into, the creation of the comic. I
Oh.
like it.
Yeah.
And I bet it appeals to collectors who are looking for something a little different.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
It's a way to own a piece of Invincible #1 history that goes beyond just the original story.
Right, right.
And let's not forget about the convention exclusives. We've got SDCC variants from 2015, 2021, and even 2023. Some have sketch covers. Others feature unique artwork by, different
There's
artists.
so many
But
options.
it's like a whole gallery of Invincible #1 art
Yeah,
just waiting to be discovered.
yeah.
And if you were lucky enough to snag one of these convention exclusives, you've got bragging rights.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I bet those are some serious collector's items, especially if they feature original artwork.
Oh, absolutely. Speaking of which, didn't you say there are blank sketch variants out there?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Imagine having an original Invincible sketch by Ryan Ottley or Cory Walker on your copy of issue #1.
That would be amazing.
Talk about a prized possession.
Oh my gosh, what a cool way to make your comic truly one of a kind.
Right.
It sounds like the possibilities for collecting Invincible #1 are endless.
They really are.
Wow.
And we haven't even mentioned store exclusives.
There's more.
Some shops and online retailers, they get their own special editions with, unique covers or foil treatments.
Wow, it's like a treasure hunt.
It is.
You never know what you might find.
Yep.
So for anyone out there who is thinking about dipping their toes into the world of Invincible #1 collecting,
Yeah.
what advice would you give them?
Well, first of all, don't get overwhelmed.
Right.
There are a lot of options out there.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is to focus on what you find interesting and exciting.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Do your research, check out online resources like Key Collector Comics.
Yep.
And decide what kind of Invincible #1 you're looking for. Do
Exactly.
you want the historical significance of the original 2003 edition?
Yeah.
Or are you chasing the thrill of a rare variant?
Yeah.
Maybe you just want a cool cover to display.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And remember, it's not all about the money.
Yeah.
It's about the love of comics and finding those special editions that resonate with you.
That's what collecting is all about.
Absolutely.
Connecting with something you're passionate about.
Yeah,
It's amazing to think about the journey of Invincible #1.
it really is.
From a single issue released back in 2003,
Yeah.
it spawned this incredible array of variants and editions.
It's a testament to the lasting impact of this comic.
Yeah.
And the passion of the fans who collect it.
And it's a reminder that the world of comic collecting is full of surprises.
Yeah, it really is.
So tell me, if you could have any Invincible #1 edition, which one would you choose?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
There's so many amazing options out there.
I know, right?
But I think I'd go for the Larry's Comics Convention exclusive.
Oh, why that one?
Well, for me, it's a perfect blend of rarity, history, and nostalgia.
I see.
That limited print run makes it super special.
Yeah.
And it represents a moment in time when Invincible was just starting to make its mark on the comic book world.
It's like owning a piece of comic book history.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe one day that Larry's Comics exclusive will be worth a fortune.
You never know.
Maybe it already is.
Right.
But even if it's not, it's a valuable part of my collection.
And that's what matters most.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up our Invincible #1 adventure,
Yes.
we have a little challenge for you, our listeners.
Oh.
We want to know, if you were a comic collector, what kind of Invincible #1 would you seek out?
Yeah. What'd you go for?
And why? Would you go for the historical value of the original 2003 edition?
Or maybe the rarity of a convention exclusive.
Or maybe a shiny foil edition catches your eye?
Right.
Whatever your preference, head over to our social media pages and let us know.
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
And that brings us to the end of our very first episode of Little Monsters Comic Pop.
That's right.
We had a blast diving deep into the world of Invincible #1 with you all.
Yeah, we did.
And we hope you learned a thing or two about the fascinating world of comic book variants and collecting.
We'll be back next time with another exciting comic book deep dive.
Until then, happy collecting, Little Monsters.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot today.
We have.
From standard editions to those super rare, super valuable variants.
Yeah,
It's been quite a journey through the world of Invincible #1 collecting.
for sure.
But before we sign off, we wanted to leave you with one final thought
Okay.
and a little homework assignment, if you will.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
All right, so we've talked about what makes certain Invincible #1 editions valuable from a collector's standpoint.
Yeah.
But we want to know what you find interesting about these different versions.
Yeah.
Forget the price tags for a second. What speaks to you as a comic book fan? Imagine you're browsing through a comic shop or an online auction, and you stumble upon a stack of Invincible #1s. What catches your eye? What makes you want to pick up a particular copy and add it to your collection?
Right.
Is it the nostalgia of the original 2003 edition?
Maybe.
The sleekness of a black foil cover?
Yeah.
The unique artwork on a convention exclusive?
Could be.
Or maybe it's something else entirely.
Yeah.
We want to know what sparks your collecting instincts.
We do.
And hey, if you're feeling extra adventurous, head over to Key Collector Comics.
Yes. Good resource.
They've got an amazing database with all sorts of details on Invincible #1 variants.
You can really get lost in there.
You can see price estimates, learn about key facts, and even track the value of your own collection if you have one.
That's right.
It's a fantastic resource for anyone who wants to dive deeper into this world.
Absolutely.
So go explore, little monsters.
Yeah.
See what treasures you can unearth in the vast and exciting universe of Invincible #1 collecting.
It's a fun journey.
And be sure to let us know what you find.
We want to hear.
Share your thoughts and discoveries with us on our social media pages.
We'd love to hear from you.
We'd love to hear what catches your eye.
Yes.
And that brings us to the end of our very first episode of Little Monsters Comic Pop.
Our first one.
We had a blast geeking out about Invincible #1 with you all.
Me too.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yes. Thank you.
Until next time,
Happy collecting.
happy collecting.